What's up, good family? Welcome back to the channel and listen. Today's story is about to shake the entire women's college basketball world because after months of silence, mystery, rumors, and fan theories, Dawn Staley has finally stepped forward, and what she revealed about MiLaysia Fulwiley's shocking exit from South Carolina has fans stunned, rivals buzzing, and the entire SEC on high alert. Hit like right now, subscribe if you love the game, and drop your thoughts in the comments, because once you hear what Dawn Staley just admitted, you're going to have a lot to say. Was Fulwiley's move to LSU really about playing style? Was it Nell? Was it locker room chemistry? Or is there a hidden truth Dawn Staley has been holding back until this moment? Stay locked in, because the real story behind this transfer, the part no one has explained, is finally coming out, and trust me, you're not ready for what she said. Story begins months earlier. South Carolina was rolling as they often do. Machine of discipline, culture, and chemistry. Fulwiley was one of the most explosive talents Dawn Staley had ever recruited. She had that rare blend of flair, creativity, confidence, and pure basketball magic, the kind of player who makes fans lean forward in their seats, phones out, ready to record the next viral moment. But talent comes with expectations, with pressure, with responsibility, and Staley, a legendary coach molded by decades of leadership, believes deeply in structure, in accountability, in doing things the right way, the South Carolina way. Why, meanwhile, was coming into her own. She wanted freedom on the court, room to experiment, space to be herself. She had dreams of being a national star, not just a key piece in a system, and though she respected Staley immensely, their visions didn't always align perfectly. Then came the moment no one saw coming. A point in the season when Fulwiley, already adored by fans, began receiving heavy attention from everywhere. Programs, influencers, analysts, brands. Suddenly, the spotlight she deserved was shining brighter than ever, and with that spotlight came opportunities, expectations, pressures, and decisions. Inside the locker room, nothing blew up. Nothing turned toxic, but players talk, coaches notice, and environments shift. That's the reality of competitive sports at the highest level, and Staley felt it. Something in Fulwiley's journey was changing, and then came the call, the meeting, the conversation that Staley referenced but never detailed until now, when she finally addressed it publicly. She didn't point fingers, she didn't blame anyone, she didn't make it dramatic. Dawn Staley said one thing, a sentence that revealed everything and nothing all at once. Sometimes players need a different path to grow into who they're meant to be. That's when fans realized there was more beneath the surface. Staley went deeper. She talked about the evolution of today's players, about the nil era, about the freedom athletes now have to make choices based on fit, vision, playing style, and personal growth. She acknowledged that sometimes, even in the strongest programs, players feel pulled in new directions, and she made something very clear. She never wanted Fulwiley to feel trapped. She never wanted her to choose fear over ambition, and she never wanted to stand in the way of a young woman chasing her own identity. Those words stunned fans because they hinted at something real, something human. Fulwiley's desire to be the lead star, the creative engine, the center of an offense that matched her style. LSU with Kim Mulkey's up-tempo scheme and superstar brand atmosphere offered that space. The truth was never scandal. The truth was never conflict. The truth was never dramatic blow-up. It was growth. Growth for a player who wanted a different role. Growth for a coach who knew how to let go. Growth for a program built on empowering its athletes. Still, Staley didn't hide that it hurt. She admitted openly that losing Fulwiley was emotional, because coaching isn't just X's and O's. It's connection, it's mentorship, it's investment. She described Fulwiley as one of the most naturally gifted players I've ever coached, and you could hear the sincerity in her voice, the kind of sincerity you can't fake. But then she said something even more powerful, something fans are still analyzing. If she shines at LSU, that means we did our job helping her become who she is. That sentence shifted everything. Suddenly, The story wasn't about betrayal, it wasn't about rivalry, it wasn't about drama, it was about respect, real deep, unshakable respect. For 15 minutes, Staley spoke candidly. She talked about the challenge of balancing discipline with creativity. She talked about building a system where everyone has a role. She talked about Fulwiley's unbelievable potential and how her journey needed a new chapter to unlock the rest of it, but she also acknowledged the emotional side, that losing players hurts, that the transfer portal changes everything, that fans feel it, coaches feel it, teammates feel it. And then she said the part that fans will replay over and over: she didn't leave us, she followed her own path, and that's what we teach here: to become strong enough to choose your path. That line hit the entire basketball world, because it wasn't just classy, it wasn't just diplomatic, it was Dawn Staley at her absolute best: wise, honest, and fearless. South Carolina moving forward with new leaders, LSU gaining a generational talent, a rivalry becoming even bigger, even more emotional, even more personal in a healthy, competitive way. Two of the greatest coaches in the sport shaping the future of women's basketball through their opposite styles and philosophies. And Fulwiley, she becomes the bridge between these two worlds, the spark that ignites debates, fuels headlines, and electrifies courts. She will always be a part of our story. No matter where she plays, it's rare transparency, it's rare honesty, and it's the hidden truth fans have been waiting to hear. And as we close today's deep dive into the real reason behind MiLaysia Fulwiley's departure and Dawn Staley's long-awaited response, one thing becomes clear: this story is bigger than basketball, it's bigger than rivalry, it's bigger than South Carolina versus LSU. It's about growth, it's about evolution, it's about two powerful forces: a legendary coach and a rising superstar, both chasing their own versions of greatness. What Dawn Staley revealed tonight wasn't anger, it wasn't bitterness, it wasn't regret, it was honesty, the kind of honesty most coaches never reveal publicly, the kind that only comes when the dust settles and the emotions fade just enough for truth to step forward. And whether you're a Gamecocks fan, an LSU fan, or someone who just loves the game, you felt it, that raw human moment: a coach letting the world see the emotional side of losing a player she believed in, player choosing a new chapter to grow into her own identity, and a rivalry that has now become unforgettable because of it. But make no mistake, this is not the end of the story. Oh no, this is just the beginning, because one day, very soon, South Carolina and LSU will meet again. The lights will be brighter, the tension will be heavier, and the entire basketball world will be watching to see what happens when MiLaysia fully steps onto the court facing the coach she once called home. And when that moment comes, you can bet it will be personal, not out of resentment, but because greatness always comes full circle. The journey always leads back to where it started, and the roar of that crowd that will tell the story for us. Before you click away, I want to hear from you. Do you think Fulwiley made the right move? Do you think Staley handled it the right way? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If you were locked in tonight, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story that changes everything. We've got more breakdowns, more exclusive insights, and more deep dives coming your way. Until next time, stay tuned, stay passionate, and stay ready, because in the world of SEC basketball, the truth is never simple, the rivalries are never calm.